Hey everyone, it's Shakira, the Dope Doula, and I'm back with another informative and I hope you'll find incredible video. We are kicking off a series called What to Expect When You're Expecting. And through this series, I'm going to walk you through all of the things that you can expect through each trimester of your pregnancy, and also how you can be preparing your body for labor and delivery through each trimester. So if you are pregnant, first and foremost, congratulations. This is going to be one of the most exhilarating and exciting periods of your life. Let's jump in. So if you're in your first trimester, you probably don't look pregnant, but I'm pretty sure you can attest to feeling very pregnant. During the first trimester, which is up to about 13 weeks, your body is doing a lot of work. And even though your baby is up to the size, between the size of a bean up to the size of a raspberry during these 13 weeks, your body is putting in some serious work. What you can expect during this first trimester in terms of your body and the symptoms that you're experiencing can be anywhere from nausea, morning sickness, which is actually a misnomer because you can experience that sort of nauseated, vomiting sickness throughout the day, not just in the morning. Constipation tends to be a big issue for many people in the first trimester. And if you are experiencing constipation, you want to make sure that you're hydrating very frequently. Drinking a lot of water and coconut water can help as well. If you're experiencing intense and extreme consistent constipation, you definitely want to talk to your doctor and or OBGYN about a stool softener that might be safe for you to take during your pregnancy. You're also experiencing swollen and tender breasts as your body prepares itself for milk production. You're also probably experiencing mood swings. Your hormones are definitely shifting quite a bit during the first few weeks of your pregnancy. And of course, you're experiencing some weight fluctuation. A lot of people report that in their first trimester, they tend to lose weight because of the sickness and the vomiting that can occur. Remember, every person is different, and some people don't have as intense symptoms during their first trimester, and some people have very severe symptoms. You can pretty much gauge how your symptoms will be depending on your mother's pregnancies. A lot of these symptoms tend to be genetic. So it's a good idea to just have a conversation with your mother or your grandmother, even if you can, to talk about what are some of the symptoms that they experienced over each trimester, and then kind of track and see where do some of your symptoms line up and compare and are alike. So those are just a few things that are happening as your body is making space for the growth and development of your baby. Your baby is, as I said, between the size of a bean and a raspberry through these first 13 weeks of pregnancy. During this time, your baby is going to be forming some key vitals to their development. They're going to start to form an outer layer that will begin to shed in the third trimester of pregnancy, but your baby is going to start to develop, first and foremost, a heart. And in the later phases of your first trimester, you'll be able to hear your baby's heartbeat, which is going to be incredibly exciting if you already haven't. Your baby is starting to develop hair and nails and some other really cool organs. The lungs are starting to develop for your baby. The baby is starting to get ears, although your baby cannot hear quite yet, but is starting to get ears. So your baby is in there coming together, and your body is doing a lot of work to help your baby develop. Now, some ways that you can be preparing and things that you should consider thinking about as part of your first trimester, you definitely want to be thinking about how you might want to shift your diet. Your body is your body, and of course, be listening to the needs of your body. It's really important that you are taking into consideration your weight loss and gain. You want to ensure that during this time, your baby is getting the proper nutrients to develop, and also that you are protecting your body and your health, because you have 40 weeks to get through, and that's a lot of time to gain extra weight that could be dangerous through your pregnancy. Things like hypertension and preeclampsia are definitely two things that we want to make sure we're being mindful of as you're going through your pregnancy. So ensure that you're talking to your medical care provider about a healthy birth weight for you. Everyone's body is different. There are recommendations. It is recommended that if you're at an average weight before you got pregnant, that you want to try to stay between 20 to 25 pounds of weight gain through your pregnancy, and making sure that you're eating healthy and such. You also want to be, if you're not already taking your prenatal vitamins, most people find that they have to go through a few different brands before they find the right prenatal that works for them. And a reminder that your prenatal vitamin is a supplement and not a substitute for the nutrients that you should be working to get through a proper and balanced diet. So in addition to prenatal vitamins, as I mentioned a moment ago, you also want to make sure that you are thinking about your diet during this time. One of the key things that is going to be important for your baby's development during this time is for you to be getting calcium and also folate. Calcium, of course, because you want to help your baby's bone development. But as you go through the trimesters, you're going to start to notice that your bones are going to require a lot more calcium, because the baby is going to start taking from your calcium and from your bone density to strengthen their own bones. So getting the calcium that you need in your diet in addition to folate. So let's talk about folate versus folic acid, because there's a lot of conversation around it and it can be really confusing if you don't know. Folate is essentially what helps to produce vitamin B in your body and for your baby, and also helps to supplement the iron that you need through the production of red blood cells. Now, folate and folic acid both do this. Folate is the natural form of vitamin B development. Folic acid is a synthetic form of that. It is definitely better to try to get your vitamin B and your folate through a natural process. So you want to be eating lots of leafy greens, chard, spinach, kale, broccoli, and eating vegetables to get that folate. If you're unable to withstand leafy greens, then this is where folic acid can come in to help you as a supplement. You also want to be thinking about, during your first trimester, your medical care support and what your birthing team might be. You have time. You don't need to establish your birthing team at the very moment that you find out that you're pregnant. Most midwives and doulas will ask you to wait until you're about 10, 11 weeks pregnant before coming on board to start working with you through your pregnancy and preparing you for labor and delivery. But you should be thinking about what you want in a midwife, what you want in a doula, and also your medical care provider. If you are going to be working with an OBGYN, what are the requirements that are important for you? And if you want, you can go back to my How to Find a Doula That's Right for You video that I'll link down below, which has some great tips for how to find a doula and also how to get the cost of a doula covered through your insurance. You also want to be thinking about announcing your pregnancy, and that is going to look different for everyone else. Lately, it has been a trend to wait until the 20-week mark before announcing the pregnancy. That's when most people feel that they are in the safe zone, that's when you get into about your second trimester, your baby has developed a little bit more. If it can be considered the clear zone for announcing. But everyone is different. Whatever you feel most comfortable with is the way that you should announce your pregnancy. And then another thing to consider is thinking about the emotional and physical boundaries you want to erect to protect yourself. The moment that people find out that you are expecting, they are of course going to be over the moon excited for you. And that can come with a lot of unsolicited advice or a lot of information about pregnancy and some of the statistics around it and how scary birthing can be. And so just be thinking about what boundaries do you want to lovingly and graciously establish to protect your peace and maintain your spirit of joy through this pregnancy. So this is your first trimester. Congratulations on becoming pregnant. I'm so excited to go through this journey with you. I'll be coming back to you with videos for the second, third, and fourth trimester, which is the one that is least talked about. So make sure that if you are watching this video on YouTube, that you subscribe to my channel, hit the notifications button. And if you're watching this video on Instagram, share this with a friend, follow me, subscribe on YouTube, hit the notifications button, and I'll talk to you next time. Ta-ta.